All right, Virgo, you pulled the bad one. So this week from Lay Vampire, you pulled Prey, Stalked, Invaded, and Watched. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Passion. Now, the blessing with Prey says it is time to stand up to a bully or to one who wishes to blame you for their own bad behavior. You did not attract the circumstances you find yourself within. You have a great deal more power than they wish you to have. And then working with this card talks about not falling into patterns of victimhood and needing to take a stand for yourself. Now, for some of you, it may be a situation here where you're needing to, stand up to somebody who would prevent you from following your passions. Now, the inspiration says you are correct to feel passionate about your position. Follow your instincts, for you know intuitively what is right for you. The personal question says, are my daily actions supporting my real passion? What am I willing to stand for? The key ideas are following your passions, being authentic, and taking a stand for yourself. But it also says a happy outcome. So for some of you, it just may be a situation where you're dealing with somebody who's being a dick and like trying to stop you from following your passions. Now, on the other hand, some of you may definitely be dealing with a stalker situation that you're gonna have to deal with. All right, Virgo, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. I feel iffy about it. I have to be honest with you. The minute that I flipped it, I was like, oh shit, which is funny because the Wheel of Fortune is a good card, right? It is the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new one, being a 10. But it is talking about fate, the turning of the wheel and good things happening. But this could also, because for me, I see it as like repeating cycles though too. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I felt like iffy about it as soon as I flipped it. Now, in the past, the Page of Cups, and that's not bad. I mean, it looks good. So the Page of Cups, pages, messengers, right? New emotional experiences. And this could also have to do with offerings, right? An offering to experience something new emotionally. It's about creativity too. But the two of them look good. I'm like wanting to flip this out. Like, why am I like looking at this like, Oh, son of a bitch. Oh my goodness, Virgo. All right, so the Three of Swords, that bothers me. That bothers the shit out of me with the Page of Cups on top of that. Basically, what that's saying is that you went into a new emotional experience and came out with some fucking heartbreak. And that bothers me, especially with the Wheel of Fortune being there. Now, this being in the present says that you already know what this is. Right? Yuck. Oh, boy. All right. Again, and I'm going to say this. General reading, not going to apply to everybody. But apparently somebody needed to hear this. You have the Three of Swords and the fucking King of Swords underneath that with fucking Prey. There is something wrong. There is something wrong here, seriously. That is not good. Not good. And I feel like with that Wheel of Fortune, you've already been through this and you're doing it to yourself again. And that's the hard part here. I would hope that this is going to be a different situation, but just what I'm looking at here feels bad. It feels bad and it feels iffy. Your best path to follow, the Fool. Now, heading out on a new path, having a little bit of faith in a situation. So, and that may be where the Wheel of Fortune is playing out here. There's a heaviness, but there's also a good part to it though too. But I need to see what else is going on here. All right, so needing to pull on your strength. Okay, so, all right, let me go back to the beginning here before I get too ahead of myself because I'm wanting to get through this to see what the hell is going on because I do not like The fact that you have a new emotional experience, you get your heart broke, and you're looking at the King of Swords with fucking prey. That's not good. It's not good at all, and you've been through this before, and you're doing it again. But the Fool is saying that there's a need for you to have faith, right? What is it that you need to have faith and strength with? Because now with strength being in your environment, it's saying that you're needing to pull on that reserve here. This situation has caused a lot of heartbreak, but it's coming around again, and it may be with a person. And the King of Swords, right? Air. Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. But, I have to wonder here, because as much as I don't like it with the Three of Swords being there, I have to wonder if something else is happening here. If this isn't a different person that's coming through after a heartbreaking situation. You know what I mean? Because that feeling of, okay, the Fool, right? Taking that leap of faith, and being able to pull on that inner strength here. Because of this new emotional experience and this turning of the wheel. I don't know. The High Priestess, your hopes and your fears. Okay, so again, going back to what Passion said, intuitively you know what is right for you. And this may be a situation where simply you have dealt with a heartbreaking situation with a person, but you're going to do it again because you feel like it's the right thing for you to do. Intuitively, you know that this is what you need to do here. But then not only that, but, everything having to do with that Three of Swords, I feel like you're hoping that, you will have it known to you, because the High Priestess, right? It's hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom. But I look at that mirror and I see somebody that sees all, right? Like you see things, you see things clearly and intuitively, right? And I think that there's like a need here for you to have a little bit of faith when it comes to your intuition. Now, some of you just may be not wanting to do this at all, on the other hand. And there is a need for you to follow a different path. I kind of feel like I'm talking to two different people here. One person is going through another cycle with, one group of Virgos is going through another cycle with a person that has broke their heart pretty bad, and they're going to do it again, is what it feels like. Now, on the other hand, for some of you, you're going through another cycle of having to deal with heartbreak, which sucks ass. And, the King of Swords is representing the person responsible for this. There's a need here for you to pay attention to your intuition, because intuitively, you know what is right for you. And there may be a need here with the Fool for you to take a different path. The wheel may be turning for you now to where you can get out of a bad situation and move on. But you're going to have strength through this. Whew, okay. Oh, okay. There's going to be healing either way. Either way. And for some of you, you may be doing some healing with a person. Because that Three of Swords, it's already there. It's already there. You know what it is. You've been through it. It's over and it's done with. There's a need for you to have strength when you go through this cycle again. But having the Star come out looks like, this person being attached to it. You're looking at Aquarius here. It looks good. There's healing and there's hope. And I'm looking at the High Priestess, and I feel like you know what is right for you, and you move into a beautiful spot here. It feels iffy, for some of you. And that may be where you're needing to defend yourself here when it comes to prey and passion, right? You may have a passion for this person, even though they may have done some really shitty stuff. But, you're not doing that anymore. You're not falling into those patterns of, victimhood. Now, on the other hand, again, I'm still going to say this. For those of you who are in an abusive situation, get out. Get out now. Don't allow yourself to be put in that. But I don't know. For some of you, I have a feeling here that you're going around with another person, and there's healing. There's healing and there's hope. Because I can't ignore the Fool where it's at, and the need for you to have, strength going through this. Wow, Virgo. Shit. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what else is going on here. And the possibilities are endless here. You look okay. You do. You look okay. And again, it goes back to what I was saying. Intuitively, like your third eye is open here. Your unique gifts. What are your unique gifts? And it is your intuition and your... Sorry about that, Virgo. I have had a bad habit all week of not paying attention to my battery. And because I had to plug it in, the light is out. So it's going to be a little bit dark through here. But we're going to pull some cards from Whispers of Love. But I love what you're pulling here. But I still feel pulled either way on this situation. But intuitively, you know what is right for you. You are going to have to follow your passion here. But at the same time, damn it, don't allow yourself to be put in a situation here that, is abusive for you, whether it's physically or mentally. And I mean that for some of you, especially with prey showing up. But on the other hand, for some of you, the situation could be totally different. I just kind of feel it on both sides. But your third eye is open. Your unique gifts is your intuition and your psychic abilities, and the possibilities here are endless for you. And it just goes back to what I was saying before. Intuitively, you know what is right for you. Coming out with a star, you're going to be fine. Like, you're going to be okay. There's hope and healing there for you coming out of this. I'm looking at you pulling on your inner strength here, tapping into your intuition and doing some major healing. All right, Virgo, we're going to take a look at Whispers of Love here. And again, I'm sorry about the light being out. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. And express love through gifts. Giving a small token to someone expresses your love to them. I've always said with this card, it doesn't have to be anything super expensive. It's just, and this could be in relationships. It can just be with family members and friends too. When you give that gift to somebody, that shows them that, first of all, you know them and that you care about them. It opens the door for you to start receiving the same thing back. But love is all around you, which is so important for you to know, and it's beautiful. Especially with the star coming out, Virgo. No matter what the situation is, there's going to be healing for you coming out of this. Okay, Virgo, so I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you I worry about. I worry about you being in a difficult situation. Especially with prey showing up and the word stalker that keeps popping up with this one, and it bothers me. Now, on the other hand, for some of you, you're having to defend yourself here when it comes to following your passion. And it may be because you're wanting to work things out with somebody who may have blamed you for their own bad behavior. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what I don't like is you have the Wheel of Fortune, which, to me tells me that you've done this before and you're actually going to do this again. Even though, you're facing heartbreak here, it's like, you're going to do this again. But, I don't know. I feel pulled about this damn King of Swords. It's driving me nuts. Because here he is, he or she, right? And it's not good. And then here it is again, and it's good. It's like, But looking at the Fool and looking at Strength, I think that, Spirit's saying that you're going to have faith with this situation and pull on your inner strength if you're wanting to get past this. Because the potential is there. Now, my God, there are some psychic Virgos out there, I swear to God, right? With everything that showed up here, intuitively, you know what is right for you. Your third eye is wide open. Your unique gifts are your psychic abilities, for sure, and the possibilities, again, are endless. I mean, I'm just looking at this going, really, really? I think you know what is right for you. It's easy for somebody to say, oh, no, you need to walk away from this, or you need to get rid of this person, whatever. But, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. The only thing that I worry about is, some of you that may be dealing with an abusive situation, whether that's mental or physical, it's time to get the hell out. You lead up to healing, and then again, that King of Swords may actually be a good person that's coming through to help you out here, like I feel pulled. I feel pulled and I feel iffy on it. You know, because normally I'm used to seeing this as a bad person. And I mean, come on. With all of this, right? Like, who the fuck is this? And why are they doing this? You know? But I think that for some of you, you're going to go ahead and you're going to try to work things out. And there may potentially be some healing coming out of this.